Welcome to the AggroCast, the official podcast of AggroGamer.com. This is episode 88, and I am Brian Bentley. On my right in the Skype window are Corey Dockendorf and David Becker. What's going on, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
My Skype window's on the left.
Really?
Who's on the left?
Well, technically David's on the left of Corey, but you're on the right screen because I have the dual monitor set up, and you guys are over there on the right. So that's kind of how that's working.
Okay, cool. I just thought I had.
If we're actually, when we do one live when we're at CES, I'll introduce more of and around the table is,
Hey.
with a wink and the gun, even though you guys will see it, but no one else will.
Don't worry, I will just I'll explain what's happening as you do it. So we're good.
Great, because that's all podcast really needs is play-by-play.
Oh, definitely.
Exactly.
I agree.
Before we get all into the show, I would like to first say congratulations are in order to all the men and women who coordinated, participated, and donated to this past weekend's Extra Life Gaming Marathon. The final tally broke $1.1 million. That's definitely something to be proud of.
Well, the funny thing is that out of the 4 years that they've been running it, they're still taking donations for anybody that or they're still tallying up all the money because people are still trying to get their hard checks in and all the money that was donated, and they're trying to get it all sent in. Since 2008, they've raised over $1.85 million. So this will be, they could possibly raise their $2 millionth this year after tallying all the checks. So we'll see what happens in the coming weeks. But that's exciting. That's awesome. I'm glad I've been a part of it.
Yeah.
And
I figured that
sick kids.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right. We hate sick kids.
No, I hate sick kids. I don't hate sick kids. I love sick kids. I love to help sick kids. That's me. That's y'all.
You're the kind of guy who supports cancer, But
But I'm anti-cancer. So.
Okay.
Fuck cancer. So. There we go.
But I figured that this definitely ties into both what we've been playing and community spotlight. So David, start us off with your experiences of last weekend and kind of what you played during your 24-hour stint.
Surprisingly, I didn't actually play as many games as I was planning on. I pretty much played and beat Spider-Man Edge of Time, the God of War collection, and started Dragon Age Origins. And between those three, that pretty much sapped all of my time outside of, when I was in the, taking my restroom break and playing random iPhone games or Android games and all that stuff.
Nice.
That's pretty much what I've been playing.
Very nice. All right, Corey, tell us about your Extra Life.
Well, I started out the morning with some PC games because it's so early. We started 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't want people coming over. I would have some breakfast, maybe a cup of coffee, a Balls energy drink, donuts. But then I hopped onto my PC and I started playing Magicka because I'm still trying to finish that out. I played some Hunted, the Demon's Forge, just kind of get my first person warm up on. Even though it's medieval, it was still a lot of fun. And then actually probably about noon, 1 o'clock, a couple of my buddies came over and wanted to support me, so they're helping out. They all donated, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna hop in on this beast." So we all sat down. We started playing some Marvel Ultimate Alliance. We played Halo 1, old school right there. What else did we do? Towards the end, I had brought up 3 or 4 guys over that night, and we were just hanging there, eating pizza, drinking energy drinks, playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance, trying to beat it. That game is much longer than I expected, so we spent a good chunk of time. One of my buddies had to bounce out probably later in the evening, so probably about, I'll say, 4 o'clock in the morning, another buddy of mine sat there, and I had never played Call of Duty Call of Duty Black Ops before. So I had, picked it up the day before. I got my first taste of Black Ops, multiplayer, of course. So we hopped onto Xbox Live and hopped onto Black Ops, and literally probably from 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock, we did nothing but play Black Ops non-stop. I probably got up to about, I think I was level 13 by that time, and we were just, entering in everything we possibly could. The demolition matches, the capture the flag matches, and I really understand why that's such a big game now. I mean, the multiplayer is absolutely fantastic, and it's so much fun and engrossing. It was like the old school days of playing GoldenEye. So like that was a first-person shooter that you really wanted to play with your buddies. So it was a lot of fun. But the other thing that I thought was a lot of fun because it was split-screen co-op. So, we're both on the same screen, but we're also playing on Xbox Live. So that was just so cool to be able to just, nudge my buddy and be like, all right, man, go get him. I'm going here. You're going there. Strategizing. It was a lot of fun. So I had a great time. Like David, I probably didn't play as many games as I wanted to, but I'm planning on doing it bigger and better next year. So I'm going to try and make it a bigger event, see if I can get more people on the team to do it, and raise more money and just make it an all-out, video game festival.
Nice.
My House 2012 Extra Life. It's on.
Word. I'll be there.
Noted. Save a piece of pizza.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Yeah, so I kind of started about 9:30 or so my time, and I had Dragon Age Origins all loaded up on my PC, and then I started playing, and then I shit you not, I had gotten up to, I played some games when I was, taking my bathroom breaks and just grabbing something to drink or something to eat, and then I realized that it was 10 or 11 at night, and I was still playing the same game. So it was the very first half is just all Dragon Age for me. That is an excellent game. I'm not very good at it, but that is an excellent game. I don't know. I don't know if you kind of met with some of this, David, but there were just parts of me where I'm I don't understand why my people are doing dumb things. I'm oh wait, that's right. I have to pause.
I'm just tactics and everything.
Yeah, and I'm sometimes and I tried to fix some of their tactics so that I could let them kind of do what they want a little bit, but Alistair might be the dumbest person ever in the history of video games. I tell him to do something, and then he's yeah, I did that one thing, and now I'm just going to go get hit by these 5 guys over here. And I'm but I don't want you over there. Stay by me. And he's no, I'm going to go die now. But, yeah, so that's kind of how I felt a lot of the times with Alistair. And maybe it's just because I kind of picked my person to be more of a rogue, where I try to sit back a little bit and fire a few arrows before I go in there and start chopping people to pieces. So I'm trying to watch myself and Morgan, and I'm trying to strategery from the background, but obviously that just doesn't work.
Not that well.
No, it really doesn't, because if I don't stay on top of that port... Alistair is Dragon Age's version of Pandora. If... he's great unless you let him go off on his own, and then you find yourself listen to some song that you've never heard of from a genre that is completely different from the one that you started off your search from.
You gotta keep reeled in.
Yeah. The one time I put in Led Zeppelin, I started listening to hard rock and classic rock, and somehow ended up at Weezer. Wow. There's nothing wrong with Weezer.
Wow.
I just don't understand how I got from point A to point B.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah. So anyway, so I played Dragon Age for most of the time, and then when Vanessa went to bed, I went downstairs and turned on my PS3 to play some Costume Quest, some Plants vs. Zombies, Pixel Junk Eden. I was just pulling out different games and just clicking the button. I'm all right, I'll play this for a little bit. Did not realize the last 3 or 4 hours were going to be such a bitch.
Oh,
there were just I realized that my brain was starting to shut off because I'm playing Costume Quest, and during a battle there's a lot of timed button pushes, and all of a sudden I just hear I'm I look up and I'm yeah, I think I might have missed that because I was starting to doze off. So I was standing up playing games, just so I don't fall asleep. I'm okay. And then I finished it off. I was so tired that when I finished off, I was just playing Puzzle Quest 2 and was actually explaining what I was doing to Vanessa so that I could stay awake.
Wow.
Yeah. So lesson learned for next year, making play dates so that I can play multiplayer or co-op or something at the end so I don't fall asleep.
Yeah. I actually had to do that at like the last hour or so. I looked out and we just got Tekken 6 in, and that's what I played the last bit with Chelsea with.
Yeah. It was weird though, like all of a sudden Vanessa comes down and I'm like, what are you doing up? And I'm like, and I look at the clock, I'm like, oh, it's already 7:30. Alright, cool. Only a couple hours to go. Pushing buttons. Yeah. So I thought it was really great. I hung out on Tiny Chat for a little while with some people from Sarcastic Gamer and Candace and them. They were really awesome. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Right on.
Definitely in for next year. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It's just something fun to do, and I exposed some new people, and I actually already had someone tell me today that him and his son are going to try to do it next year. So
nice.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. All right. Any other thoughts or whatever about Extra Life before we wrap it up? Or
no, I think they did a fantastic job. I think it's a wonderful event, and I think that they did a fantastic job, and more power to them. I think that they're doing awesome. So, amazing. It's for the children. See?
Thanks.
Children. Noted.
Yeah.
I just like how we're all kind of like we're all excited about it, but at the same time we're all just kind of like, yep.
Well, because because it was just this weekend, so we're all probably zombied out and going, oh man, I can't wait to go to bed.
Yeah, I basically passed out like within 10 minutes of finishing. And then I woke up like 3 hours later with a massive leg cramp.
Yeah, it's similar to what I did. Although I had to add moving in the morning before.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
A big move. How did that all work out then?
We're in. The living room's set up. We still got a bunch of stuff we gotta do, but we actually didn't finish moving until about 8 a.m. on Saturday.
Oh, jeez.
So I had about an hour or so before I had to start the Extra Life, but that's how much I care about sick kids, by the way.
That's right.
That's dedication.
That's right. That's what happens. Magic.
All right, so that's going to kind of cover for our what you've been playing in our community spotlight. So I guess it's time to move into Care, Don't Care.
All right.
For the 3 people who are listening, the one person who may not know what we're talking about, Care, Don't Care is our segment where I have 8 topics, and we rapid fire them to these guys, and we kind of go back and forth. David, you are on the left, so you get to go first. Are you guys ready to roll?
Yep.
Ready as
All right. All right. Care or don't care about you're beginning to like lose anonymity on gaming platforms. So whether it's a console or on the PC, more and more people are being tied to their gamer tag or whatever, and it's becoming more on a more personal level. Do you care or not care that we're kind of losing that sense of anonymity?
To be completely honest, I do not care, but we're probably some of the exceptions to the rule here because we kind of promote ourselves out there with all of our gaming stuff. So I mean, as far as I go, I don't care because I tell everybody my gamer tag, all that stuff. I don't care if people know I'm going in there shooting them or beating them or whatever, or getting beaten and shot either way. So really don't care. But for everybody else, still don't care.
Like I don't care about them. I care about sick kids, but not those other people.
Exactly. Screw everybody else, except for sick kids.
If sick kids were losing anonymity, would you care?
No.
Wow. That's
You wouldn't care until they weren't anonymous anymore and they were sick. Then you would care.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'd be like, okay, now I got to donate money to help you out.
All right. Corey, we're moving over to you. What are your thoughts?
So the concept is of anonymity for a user based off of their gamer tag, or that it's going away.
Well, it's just that, like, I mean,
Real
basically,
IDs and
it
stuff?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what. Yeah, sort of like that. You know, like where you know, basically, people know you're Mythic Griffin. People know you're the real Hades. People
Yeah,
know I'm Quiglin.
I do care, because then you don't get as many trolls on the forums, honestly. You don't get all these people that think that they can hide behind a computer and say whatever they want and then not back it up because, you can't just be anybody on the internet now. You can't just be anonymous. I love that fact. I love that you have to go to a forum and tell people who you are, so that if I have a problem with you and I meet you at like a meetup, I can beat the shit out of you. It's that type of deal. Like, you have to own up and be a responsible adult on the internet. You can't be the kid that wants to teabag you all day long on Call of Duty Modern Warfare and then just be like, haha, you can't find me. You'll end up like that kid that got choked out in the UK. I'm just saying, that's what happens. You got to own up for it. And I'm all for it. I am all for, I said this and I'm going to stand my ground, or I'm going to be a punk and back out. Just own up, man. So yes, I think it's cool. I love that it's going away.
All right, Corey is going to be like Jay and Silent Bob at the end of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He's going to be like, "Did you say Jay and Silent Bob can go fuck themselves?"
That's going to be me. I'm going to be like, hold on, I'm going to have it up on. I'm going to be like, remember when you were listening to the AggroCast and you put a comment here? Yeah, did you write this? Okay, hold on.
Whoop, and you throw the thing in the back, and then you just start kicking them.
Exactly.
I'd be there with you.
See, yeah, I just converted David. Just saying.
And of course,
No,
the entire time,
that's why I don't care that the anonymous people are going away.
Okay, well,
Now I don't have to fucking search people.
Exactly.
I know who's talking crap to me.
Exactly.
I just go, oh, let me look at their profile. Okay, now we go beat them up.
Yeah.
And of course, the entire time David's kicking him, the guy's going to be like, "I'm a sick kid." David's like, "Oh, wait, you're 32."
Oh,
Poof, poof, poof.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm with you guys. I'm getting happier and happier that some of these thoughts, like in the trolls, they're getting put off, and yeah, they can create some kind of ghost account or whatever, and that's if they really need to do that, that's their own business. But I like the fact that I know the people I'm playing with online. I begin to know them as people, and you actually can have conversations. As opposed to, someone, when we were in the tiny chat and someone said something about, faggot ass bitch, and I'm like, you know what, dude, that's uncalled for.
See, and that's the stuff that needs to go away. And if you have to tie your name to a gamer tag, I guarantee you they do not say that stuff anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, own up for what they say.
That's right.
Like I said, I love hate mail.
That's right. Unless it's from sick kids.
Yeah.
Unless it's from sick kids, and then
Then you just have
that's a horse in a different color.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, Corey.
Keep sick kids up too. Put them right back into the hospital.
They were already there, so I mean, it's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Corey, you're going to start us off on the second one. It's care, don't care. Whether Sony fixes the UMD problem for the PS Vita.
I don't care. I really don't. I feel that Sony has been doing a lot of mistakes lately with the PlayStation 3 and now with the Vita, and I'm just like, really? Why? You guys didn't plan this out? You guys didn't foresee any of this? They're going to hammer it out. They're going to solve it. We still have a little while until the Vita's going to be out, so there's plenty of time for them to get some feedback and then resolve the issue. So I don't. Well, yeah, but you have time. I mean, it's not like the thing's coming around next week, so they've got time to fix the issue. And I don't care, and I will kick now if it's launched with this issue, and they didn't fix anything, and they didn't do it, and they didn't do anything whatsoever to solve the problem, then I have an issue. But until launch, this is all speculation at this point. So. Yes. So no, I don't care until it's launched. How about that?
All right, David, over to you.
Honestly, I do care because when the PSP Go came out, they had something set up for people who had an absurd amount of UMDs as well, and now they still have people who didn't buy the PSP Go and are going to get the Vita.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they need to have something that similar to like what they did was like, oh, if you could send us the the barcode, like a copy of the barcode off of all these PS games, we'll give you a voucher to download, either download the game virtually on the machine or to download another game to reimburse you for this technology that pretty much just died. Patent pending.
But okay, so in regards to that, something like that seems pretty simple considering that everything does that now. So, am I right? Microsoft does it, Xbox does it, you can redeem a code on PlayStation Network. Why can't you find some unique identifier with your UMD game, whether, like you said, it's in the barcode, it's like the last 4 digits or some crap like that, and say, hey, I own this game, kick down.
Not even that. If you could get them a copy of, or even the proof of purchase thing. You send that in, and they're like, okay, yeah, here you go. Here's a code.
Yeah, but
here's a $20 voucher to the PSN.
Yeah, exactly. And then but I don't know if they'll do that because then you'll have the whole, I have all these old games, but now I can trade them in and get brand new games. I think that you'll run into kind of an argument with that because I have some old UMDs that I got sitting around. If I get and I don't have a PSP anymore and haven't had one for some time, if I get a PS Vita, I'm going to be like, hey, I got $20 for trading this game.
Yeah.
Booyah,
But the thing is, if you send in a proof of purchase, they're going to be able to tell, oh, this game came out back when the PSP launched.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, well, this one launched in 2011. We should probably reimburse for the 2011, but not the 2007 or whatever.
See, and then you run into the conversation of what does Sony do and how do they hash out those moral decisions? Like, do they set a standard? Do they say this is what you're going to get for this and type deal? But I don't know. But like I said, they got time. They can fix it. There will be a solution before it's launched. I'll bet money.
Oh, I'm gonna take that bet.
Are we gonna take that bet? Hold on. What are we taking the bet?
And I'll be upset if they steal my idea from this.
Yeah, podcast. We can't make the bet now because people listen to this podcast. The 3 people that listen to it are like Xbox, Sony, and PC. So Nintendo doesn't listen to this thing. So I'm never worried about Nintendo. But the other guys, they listen. So you may hear this announcement like next week because they listen to the podcast. I'm just saying.
No. But yeah, I would put money.
Every other time.
I would put money on they will not have this figured out by the time the PS Vita comes out. And I don't mean the Japanese launch in a couple of months, in like a month. I mean the North American launch 6 months from now. They're still not going to have it figured out. They didn't really have a very good system for when the Go came out. Of course, the Go was a piece of crap, but yeah, I don't think they're going to have.
With such a powerful tool like the PlayStation Network, I would be hard-pressed if they don't come up with a solution. I'm just saying. I'd be hard-pressed to say that there is no solution for that.
I mean, I think there are plenty of ideas for solutions. I just don't think that Sony is going to be ready to come out, and I don't think they're going to have anything to make it happen yet.
Even if they don't have it at launch, they may even have it a couple months down the road. Or they'll launch the game and then say, hey, in 6 months we'll have this, and that way people can redeem after that. And I think that would pretty much satiate people long enough to say, hey, you will get a game. You can't have it right now, but you can get it in a little bit. I mean, really, we're talking backwards compatibility. So,
Yeah.
I don't need to play Ape Escape again. I'm good. I'm all right. I'll live with that.
Sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now my Barbie rides horses game, I'm gonna have to see if I can get that relaunched.
Well, you have that on enough. You have that on like 3 or 4 different platforms.
Yeah,
so you don't need
it.
it.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan.
I know. All right.
Don't hate the fandom.
Go back to David. Number 3, care or don't care, buying a game that is essentially broken. Like you pull it out of the box and you're like, you start playing it and you're like, this game is flipping broken. What the?
Time out.
Physically broken, or
broken
like it doesn't, like you're trying to play it and they're so glitchy and you're like, I spent $60 on this.
Not physically broken, but just like gameplay broken. Okay.
Yeah.
I care a lot about that because I've run into not only just like $60 games, I've run into like $10 games that I'll pop in and it's just retarded. It's retarded, like it's just broken. And now I feel like I just kind of threw money away. because if I either try to take it back to GameStop to like trade it in, I'm going to get like half the value anyways. All
Right.
because somebody thought it would be a good idea to do something one way. All of their testers thought it was a good idea, but they didn't do any focus testing to see if the gamers actually think that's a good thing to do. So I care a lot, especially with titles that are like $60. Well, good point of view is Iron Man 2, the video game. I didn't pay for it, but I know there's probably a lot of parents out there that bought it for their kids, and that game was horrid.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be furious if I bought that for my kid and it was just that broken. And even was it Dead Island had a bunch of problems too, but
Rage.
they were fixable.
Rage had a bunch of issues when it was released.
Yeah.
Graphics issues that they weren't planning on, especially on PC version.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be upset unless it's something that the company's going to actually update and fix in a timely manner. But there's a bunch of games out there that come out all the time that are just piles of crap that they either market really well or they have it linked to something that is going to force somebody to buy it, either for themselves or for their kids. And it's just a waste of money. So I do care a lot about broken games like that. And I also care when I get a new game and the game's not, the actual disc itself isn't in the holder. Bugs me to no end.
Possibly all scratched up and whatnot because of that bothers me too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's how my LA Noire was. Of course, that got stolen, so I can't play it.
Weak sauce. I know what I'm going to eat for Christmas.
All right, Corey, it's over to you.
I don't care. I really don't. Because you know why? Because day one, I refused to shell out $60 for any of those games. And here's why. Because there are so many options now to get games without having to shell out the $60. You have GameFly, you have Redbox now that will ship out. You can go pick up the latest game the day it comes out on Redbox and RSVP it, and pay what, $2, and play the game all night? A day. Okay, so you get the game, you get it that day on a Friday. You play the game, you realize it's broken, you take it back. You drop $2 versus $60. I just had this problem, and I twice. And I'm taking that back. I'm actually doing it right now. You know what I rented? Dark Souls. Because I'm a freaking masochist. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It cost me $2. So I'm going to get my ass literally handed to me for a couple hours a night for the next couple nights. I may spend $6 and be like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'll take it back. And I won't feel bad about it one single bit. You have GameFly that ships you stuff like Netflix. Xbox Live and PlayStation Network give you enough demos that you can play a brief glimpse of the game and say, okay, this is not for me, I don't want to play it. Or, ooh, this does not look good on my system. Steam does the exact same thing. There are so many options you can do to try a game before you actually buy it. But you have all these elitists that have to have the game day one, and they end up with a broken game. And me, I'll wait till a patch comes out, honestly. Rage, perfect example. All the PC players that got it had all the video card issues because NVIDIA and AMD had that driver that wasn't working properly. That's an issue. But I don't have to deal with it because I didn't get it for $60. But now that it's fixed, sure, I'll go pick it up. Sure. And then you also have the internet. So you can read stuff. People are on this game way before anybody else is. So if there are any major standout bugs, you will know about it before you have to buy the game. So I don't care because if you bought the game for $60, that's on you.
See, I don't know about that because honestly, I feel like if I'm going to give money, and it's not necessarily the $60, it's the fact that you give, you pay for a game. It's, there is an informal contract that you have with the company that you're buying, like not just the store you're buying it from, but the developer and the publisher that, you know what, I'm going to take this home and I'm going to play it. And yeah, maybe maybe it's not a game for me, or, maybe I just don't really like the story very much, or the characters or whatever.
Yeah,
but if you're trying to play a game and it just physically you're having trouble just making the controls work properly, I think that's a part of the agreement that you have when you give money to get a product.
I agree. That's why you have to try it out. Try before you buy, man. You don't just walk into any car dealership and pick out the car that you want and say, I'm taking that home, and then drive it home and go, oh, it's broken.
Even if you shell out $2 or whatever to get a game from like Redbox or something like that for like a night, you like for instance, here's a great example. Like for some reason, I can't get Gears of War 1 to play in my Xbox.
Okay.
I shelled out $30 to buy it used, and it freezes up at one spot in the game. I didn't know about that because I was playing it casually, not just hardcore, and it's about 4 hours into the game, and I already bypassed that period of time where I could take it back to the store and all that stuff, just because I was playing casual. So I mean, even if you pay $2 and it goes the other way too, is you could also pick up a game, play it for a few hours, be like, this game sucks, and later on, it's just the intro that sucks, and the game supposedly gets way cooler later on.
But this is 25 years of gaming, guys. I mean, it's not like this is something we've never seen before. Games have come out broken long time before. So what are you going to put a warranty plan in? Hey, man, your game's broken. I'm going to send it back. Really?
No, I agree with Brian that there needs to be some kind of... They actually need to have quality control on their stuff. Like Valve doesn't put out a game unless they know it's going to be a AAA title.
Blizzard,
the same thing. They don't go, we're going to put this game out in like one year. They're like, it's going to be out when it's out, just like how Diablo 3 is. And you know what? You're going to pick up Diablo 3, and everybody's going to be like, that's an amazing game.
But on the flip side, you have to understand you have an entire player base that goes and will boycott anything and everything if they don't get exactly what they want these days.
Well,
right?
You can't please everybody. You can't please everybody, but there is, you need to try to appease the majority, at least.
Yeah, but then in that case, take more time.
Yeah.
Take more time.
Yeah.
But then the majority has to understand that the game's not ready and deal with it. And don't go on YouTube and post videos about, oh, I'm never buying your game again because you promised it this day and it's not coming out now.
Okay, now you're talking about something that's a little off the subject of what...
Yeah.
I'm just saying that when I buy a game, I expect to put it in and it's going to work.
I don't. I don't ever expect it to work. It's a video game. It's a removable media. It has the possibility that it will fail. Nothing is
How'd you feel about what was it, that Dungeons and Dragons game?
Perfect example.
That wasn't
Perfect example. I went on a hunt for that game, and I got that game, and the game is broken, okay? And it was broken, and I waited, and I had it installed, and I waited like 3 months until a patch came out, and it still didn't work, and I finally got it working on my video card, and I was excited, and I played it, and it killed 5 hours. Okay, it was $15. What am I supposed to do now? There's nothing that I can do. I purchased the game. The agreement ended there from the minute that I bought it.
Yeah, but you just expected the company to give you a non-broken game.
But what am I supposed to do? Send it back?
Well, it's not about the recourse. All I'm saying is that, there is a unwritten agreement. You bought the game, you put it in, and then it made you download it from Steam, and
there is a reason that we're paying these game companies, all the developers, everything. We're paying their salaries. There's a reason for it.
But the problem
is, if I walked into my day job, and I was just like, yeah, I'll build you a website, it'll work.
But
I don't think I wouldn't have my job very long unless I made it to where that worked as well as it was supposed to, the best it could.
But it's not the game companies. It's these publishers. It's these people that are trying to push. It's a business. You have a time frame to spit a game out. If you do not meet that time frame, you do not get the funding for it. That's how game companies work. That's how publishers work. So Activision says, put this game out. It needs to be out by Q4. You're not ready at Q4. You can't tell Activision, hey, man, it's going to take a little bit longer. Activision has stuff that needs to be done and needs to be put out.
If they came out and said Modern Warfare 3 is not going to be ready until December, I don't think Activision would take too big of an issue with that.
Too late. They've already invested so much in advertising and saying that it's going to be out. It would be a huge loss. There's no way.
And if the developers came in and if they came in and said, yeah, we need like a few weeks to tweak things and get things going, I bet you first thing Activision would put out a press release going, we need to postpone the game like a couple weeks for balancing issues.
Okay, but a couple weeks is different than a game that's completely wrecked. So you take a game, Dungeons and
Well,
Dragons.
if the game's completely wrecked, they should just scrap the job and start over.
But they don't, because they have to push something out. X-Men Destiny is a perfect example. A lot of people did not dig it because of the way that the combat system was, which you can read in my review probably in the next couple of days. But the thing is that with that being said, you have a time frame. You have a deadline. You have to make that deadline, and you have to cut corners to achieve that deadline to keep making money. If not, in this day and age, the company will go under. End of story. And then if the company goes under, then what do you have? Nothing.
You put out a shitty game like that Dungeons and Dragons game, I guarantee you your company's going to go under.
I don't know. It will go under, but on the flip side, unless they find a new publisher, Atari is not going under. I'm sorry. Anybody?
How many times have they been bought in the last 5 years? 6, 9,
but
14?
They're still around. That's my point, is that they're still getting publishers, they're still getting people to invest in them, they still have a staff.
I know we're getting way off topic, but I don't think...
Is this the topic of the night? Because I'll do this all day.
I don't think Atari would be around still if they started out horrible.
No.
Atari was known way back then to produce solid stuff, which is why they're getting bought all around. It's the brand name.
It's a business.
People associate it with being top quality.
It's a business, and it will run like any other business, and if you have a deadline to meet, whether you're ready or not, it's not the game developer that gets to tell you what to do, it's the publisher. So, the game comes out broken, you can't blame the development studio. You really can't. So, take it up with the publisher. I'll write a letter. Noted.
Alright. But anyway, let's move on to topic number 4. Corey, you're up first. Care or don't care about the Devil May Cry HD collection announcement?
What? You lost me at Devil May Cry.
What did I lose you? It was announced that
I just didn't care.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I really didn't. I mean, are they doing? Do they think they're God of War? Is that what this is? Is it that they're the God of War collection and they're just going to stick all 3 CDs together and say, hey, here's the collection for all you Devil May Cry fans? Really? And what are you going to charge me for that? Yeah, I don't care. I didn't... Personally, I don't care much for the Devil May Cry series. And with the new Devil May Cry game coming out, I'm just like, eh. You know, there's nothing that has me excited about it at all. And just putting it in a collection just means I can get all 3 games in one shot if I ever desire to play it. So I could give less of a crap, honestly.
Nice. David, over to you.
I care, and I care for 2 reasons. First reason is, this seems like just the biggest cop-out to get some game out there as fast as possible.
Yep.
Because like they're doing it with was it Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill, Devil May Cry, obviously, Tomb Raider.
Equal and Shadow Colossus.
Yeah, Ico Shadow Colossus. The God of War one, like they did the first 2 games, but the one thing I really liked is the fact that they put the PSP games out just recently. But it seems like it's a cop-out because they couldn't think of a good original idea. It's like, oh, we'll just get everybody through nostalgia. We'll put out these great games that they've already played, put them in high def, and add on, achievements and trophies. That'll be enough, right? They're taking the Capcom version of it. It's like, oh, they've already played Marvel Ultimate Alliance, or not Marvel. Street Fighter versus Marvel versus Capcom 3.
There it is.
We'll put out Ultimate Marvel versus Capcom 3. Nobody will notice after they pay $40.
Exactly.
So, but the other good thing though is, kind of back to the original idea, the thing we talked about just a second ago is, yes, it is a company. They do need to make money. What I'm hoping part of the reason is they need more time and more funding to make their better, like their newer games better. So they're rehashing these older games just to give them time and money to do the new IPs better. Because they know people will buy these old games in HD and all that stuff. So that's kind of my hope. That's my second reason why I care, is I kind of hope that's the case. In most cases, I don't think it is. I think it's just the search for more money.
Yep.
But
yep.
I could see it working out that if they're like, well, we need more time to work on Devil May Cry 4 because we have 5 or whatever, because we have so much we need to do. But we could rehash the old ones real fast, put them out in HD, sell them for $30. We'll get a bunch of people who's never played it, people who are huge fans. They'll buy it up. That'll cover our costs while we're finishing up the new one. Because it's right now it sucks, and we need to make it better.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way as I'm just getting a little tired of these HD rehash crap. It's sort of like they're going the Square Enix route over and over. Like every company's like, oh my god, if we put out the same games all over again, people will buy it. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm just getting tired of it. It would be nice if we actually had something worthwhile. I mean, like there was nothing that hurt as much as sitting through the Ubisoft press conference and only seeing one new IP for the entire thing.
Yeah.
That was painful. I'm also with Corey. I just don't care about Devil May Cry.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't care about Devil May Cry, but it's just that's what I'm hoping the company's doing, and that's my hope for everybody else who does the exact same thing.
Yep. All right, moving on to number 5. David, it starts with you. Care, don't care about bubble baths?
I care about bubble baths because they're amazing. They feel so good. In fact, after this podcast, now that you mentioned it, I think I'm going to take me a bubble bath.
Nice.
Although I think I'd have to use the kid version of the bubble bath, so I don't think we have an adult bubble bath. But what's the difference between putting Barbie bubble bath in and the fancy stuff?
Nothing, I don't think.
I don't think so. Corey?
Corey.
I don't care, and I have a very valid reason why. Because I'm 6'1" and I don't fit in a fucking tub. I haven't had a bath. I have not had a bath since I was like, I don't know, 9. Even if that. And especially a bubble bath on top of that. I'm sorry, but also then it just makes this human soup thing that I'm not with. I'm not with you sitting in your own water. I don't care how many bubbles you put in there and try and mask the smell. You're sitting in your own dirt. I don't do bubble baths. Not my bag, baby.
It's all about making the bubble beard and the bubble mustache and all that stuff.
No. My kid takes bubble baths. I don't take bubble baths.
I'm a fan of the bubble bath. I just don't like Corey. I'm 6 foot. It's plus I'm so huge that I displace a lot of water. So there's a whole soap water Brian ratios are kind of a little off, and so that's something to keep in mind. So I don't take them as often as I think I would like. But yeah, it's about the ratio of water displacement to Brian.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Stupid water
displacement. All right, Corey, we're back to you for number 6. Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. Care or don't care?
I do care, because Mass Effect is such a fantastic franchise. I'm very excited for a multiplayer option. And with, yes, please. I want it, and I want it now, honestly. Mass Effect is great. It's going to be awesome to be able to play with your friends. Any game with multiplayer is better, in my opinion. So, bring it on. I'm excited. And especially to have that type of, storytelling and everything, it's going to be great. So, I do care. I'm excited. Can't wait.
Ooh.
All right, Dave, we're back to you.
See, I care, but for different reasons. Like, for instance, it seems like they don't think the voice commands are going to work well enough. So they have to make up for it, so they give somebody another option on how to have all the players controlled. I know it's co-op and multiplayer.
Yeah.
So it just kind of makes me feel that they don't think the Kinect voice commands are going to work.
Yeah.
So they need to add in another option. So that's why I care. It just means that they're not continuing forth with the technology and just kind of copping out. Because they can go, oh, it has multiplayer. AAA game. Multiplayer.
I'll make sure I get it on Redbox before I buy it.
Awesome. I'm in both camps in that I think co-op could be actually really really sweet for the game, just having that experience with someone else for a story that is that huge and is that involved. I think that could really be something good. Competitive multiplayer, I have absolutely no fucking idea why they would need or have to have that. That's fucking stupid.
I'm interested to see how it happens. I mean, it's
Because
going to be
every game
interesting.
needs multiplayer.
Not necessarily. I mean, it's a platform style multiplayer, so it could be. It could be an experience. It could be where games go next. We don't know. We haven't seen it before. We have nothing to compare it with.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So, all right, when it comes out and you're like, oh my god, Mass Effect 3's multiplayer is like the greatest thing ever. I'll be like, oh, let's go back to podcast number. What are we on?
88.
88. I'll be like, I will reference this one and be like, Booyaka Shadi.
Yeah, and you can do that, and I'll do it the exact same day and be like, yeah, Sony did nothing for the UMDs on PS Vita. All right, thanks a lot.
Wow.
They should have just taken David's idea.
Callback. Awesome.
Yeah. So, write that down. We'll have to remember about that.
Making a note here.
All right. David, we're back to you. Care or don't care about Halo Anniversary will include some Kinect support.
Don't care.
All right, Corey.
No, yeah, I'm with David on this one. I don't really care because I'm not gonna play with the Kinect. I'm not. I didn't play the first one with Kinect, and I won't play the Anniversary Edition with the Kinect. Sorry. Don't get me wrong. Let me just my little spiel right here is awesome. I love the Kinect. I think it's a great device. It's wonderful for my kids. It's wonderful for my wife and me to play games. I love it. I think it's a great device. It's fantastic technology. I don't want to play Halo on it. So no, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, not that I could play Kinect, but I just don't see, like, they just made this out to be like this really massive, huge announcement, and when it came down to it, I was just like, really? Kinect support? That was a big announcement. Yeah.
It'll be neat to see how it hammers out, you know.
But it's not like I wasn't going to buy it, and now I'm going to buy it because it's going to have Kinect support.
Oh yeah.
My buy not buy meter didn't even shake. Like, it didn't even think. It never even had a thought to move. Like, it was just like, I don't know. You know. So yeah. So I don't really care. All right, last one, Corey. It's to you. Oh, okay. I almost read one from the week prior, or the podcast prior. How about if I read the one from this one?
Who knows? Maybe
All right.
my answer changed. Who knows? What's up?
Yeah, well, I don't know. So care don't care about ads in mobile games.
They have to make money, so I don't care. I mean, okay, ads in your mobile games are because the game is free 90% of the time. I have never purchased a mobile game that gives me an ad. It just doesn't happen. There's no reason for it because I paid for the game. But they have to make some sort of revenue. With that being the case, they have to go through ads and sponsorships because, well, that's really the only way to get revenue right now. Or microtransactions, which is fine. So, amen to them. They're making money. Bring on more games. If you have to have ads in my game and I don't want to play with ads, I'll buy the game. I'll spend my $2.99 and buy a game.
You capitalist bastard.
You have no idea. Money talks.
All right, David, it's over to you.
I care and don't care. First.
Wait a second. No, you can't be in between.
I don't care. I don't care because I understand, yes, companies need to make money. I do care when it's, improperly implemented. Because I've had a few games that have ads, and it ruins the game because the ad pops up, slows everything down, and then either the app crashes or the controls stop working because the ad's loading.
I have a 5-year-old, and I can't tell you how many times she's playing Angry Birds and goes, "Daddy, it went white again," and it's loading the ad that she accidentally tapped. So I'm like, no, we don't want to buy this. No.
But you should be happy because you're giving ad revenue to, to those people.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna give them my money, I'm just
you capitalist bastard.
Yeah, well,
I only care, and I'm kind of with David on this one. I only care when it's kind of where it's either overused or improperly used. I had a friend who was like, you need to try this game out, and I was like, okay. And I start the game up, and there's an ad, and I'm like, okay, whatever, it's not a big deal. And then I click to start playing the first level, and there's an ad in the bottom right corner, and there's an ad that takes up the entire, and I have it in the landscape format on my phone, and it takes up part of the entire top of the screen, and I'm like, okay, so the actual game part is approximately 65% of my screen, and the rest is ads. And I'm like, I played one level, and I was like, I give up, I don't care, and I uninstalled it because I'm just like, why would I want to look at a third of my screen is taken up by ads?
It's lack of landscape space. Yeah, it sucks.
So, and I mean, I have 4.3 inches, but it doesn't matter. It's still a lot of space that's taken up by. It's sort of like when you're on a website and you're like, oh my god, that's way too much white space. I'm gonna my eyes are having an aneurysm by themselves. So that wraps up our care don't care segment. I think we should probably table that third thing and maybe have that as a topic sometime. So Corey can seriously get his serious capitalist bastardness out.
Let's go.
It's going to be go time for him on that. That's right. All right, so I put that in the list for later on.
Noted.
So our main topic tonight is, in fact, slightly different. We're talking about when games end for you. So if you're thinking back to 25 years ago, when you had Super Mario Brothers, you get to 8-4, you beat Bowser, and the princess is not in another castle, and then there's some credits, and then it's just back to the title screen, and you're like, okay, well, I could either play again, now that I've beaten it, play the exact same thing, or I could make up stuff for myself to do, some fun things. And now games have evolved to the point where, think about Super Mario Galaxy. There are there's 242, 43 stars, something like that, and you can get to Bowser and technically, quote unquote, beat the game at 60. So you only have to collect 1/4 of the stars, really, and you can beat the game. So, for you guys, what is when you think about when does a game end for you? At what point do you stop and you're like, okay, I'm done with this game now. I may come back and play it some other time down the road, but for right now, I'm done with this game.
I don't think it's a very interesting topic, and I'm going to do it from two standpoints because I'm a little particular. Number one, I'm going to do it from the platform side. So I love my Xbox, I love my PlayStation. I have so much fun on all those. I like Uncharted 1. I thought was fantastic. It ended. I longed for more. I couldn't wait. I wanted more. Dungeons and Dragons, not so much. If I don't ever see the game again, I won't mind. So having an end to a game, you have to define what the end is. Do you want to have something close off? Do you want to have closure at the end of the game? Because in this day and age, there is no closure. There won't ever be. Games have evolved for so long. We're now used to seeing sequels and trilogies and storylines that can go on forever. We're no longer building games that start with the princess is not in another castle. And even then, how many worlds do you have to go through till the game officially ends? How long is long enough? You can't really base that nowadays because you have MMOs, you have online gaming, you have things that don't end anymore. You want to build a player base and continue going. That's the evolution of video games. That's where we're at now. There is no more buy game, play game, beat game. You have achievements, you have other extra content, you have DLC. People want to draw you, the game companies want to draw you into a world. They want to get you addicted to that world, and then they want you to purchase the next piece of that world so that you can always expand on it. You can always revisit that world. The ending games are gone. I don't think that you're ever going to really have a game that just ends and is done. It's not going to happen. That's not where video games are. From an MMO standpoint, I've been playing World of Warcraft for 6 years.
You still don't know why.
And because I love it. I absolutely love it. I need it. I fiend for it. Every time there's an announcement, I'm going to BlizzCon. I'm excited about that. I love the entire world, the lore, and everything about it. It's my... Shut up. But that's the thing, is that it's an online game. I live in it. I play it. I want to stay on it. I want to stay in it as long as possible. If they keep giving me content, I'm going to still go. People will drop out of a game and say, I don't want to play anymore, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't like the grind, whatever. That's not for you. You're going to pick up something else and jump into another world, and you're going to invest as much time in that as possible. Players complain nowadays more about having a really short game, which is usually under 5 to 10 hours, or 15 hours at this point, and saying, well, I didn't really get that much game time. People want a more immersive world, and with technology nowadays, and with the way that gaming is moving, and the way that it's being developed, we're able to give these expansive worlds and build on them and add on to them. EVE Online is a perfect example. You're building a universe that people can participate in and socialize in. You're now building these virtual worlds, and that goes for console games, and that goes for games that aren't even online, because you've built this world, you've built the lore around this world and this history, and people want to be part of it. So I don't think games will ever end ever again. And if they do, it's because they weren't successful. Capitalism.
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 FTW.
But I mean,
all right. No. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Corey. I think, at least in my mind, and we can get back, like, we can continue on this, but when I was thinking of, like, this actual topic, what I was kind of thinking of is, I know, like, there's a point where I'm going to stop playing. Like, for instance, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, it was, like, one of those things where, like, I beat the game, I collected some extra achievements, kind of got to that point where I was like, okay, do I continue to keep hunting for achievements? Nah, I'm just done.
But in that standpoint, that's the third game, dude. That's
the
third game. It's not like the game didn't end. If Assassin's Creed, when the new Assassin's Creed comes out, you're going to play it, aren't you?
Oh, fuck yeah.
So the game never ends. The game never ends. The world never disappears. You're still Altair. You're still the whole storyline. I mean, it's not over. You know that you're on a break because you wanted to step away from the game, because you've done everything you wanted to do in that module. But the story's not done. You're going to start a new game. You're going to play in that universe. Right?
Yeah. I guess, again, I'm talking about one, like, I'm not talking about an entire universe for an IP. I'm talking about when you're playing a particular game, like, like some people, if they beat it, they also have to get, they have to go platinum if they're on.
Oh, you're asking about achievement hunters. Man.
Well, not only that, but like, people like, for Persona, like, I got a bad ending the very first time, so I wanted to play again.
Well, it depends.
So the game didn't really end for me because I wanted to continue playing.
Well, this brings up a good point. Then you have titles like Skyrim, where you have multiple endings. So, or for instance, what you guys were doing for Extra Life, Dragon Age, you have multiple endings. A perfect example: Dragon Age came out, and I played the game until I got all the endings because I wanted to see what every consequence would have been. That's when a game ends for me. When I fully see everything at the end of the game ends for me. But I have to, if it means I have to get multiple endings, I will play the game to get multiple endings. If I have to beat the game one time through and that's all I get, that's all she wrote, I gotta wait for the sequel, I'm done with the game until then. I have no reason for achievements. I have no reason for any extra stuff or unlockables. Or I did the same thing with Assassin's Creed 1. You can go and get all the feathers and the flags, and I didn't do any of that crap. I don't have time. I'm a casual gamer. So I played the game, I beat the game, I saw my ending, I was like, awesome. I'm gonna go get Assassin's Creed 2. So the game is
If there-
over. So when I
If there were
beat,
feathers in WoW, you would get them.
hey, I've been on
true.
that quest. I've been on that quest. There's a lot of moonkins involved. It's not fun. There's a lot of plucking it off their ass. But no, yeah, but that's the difference. You have the MMO, which will never end, versus games like Assassin's Creed 1. I spent my hours playing it. Oh, X-Men Destiny. I played it. I sat down in 3 days. I played the game. I beat the game. I was done. I played all 3 endings. I was like, yay. Huzzah. Take it back. You know? That's it. The game is over. Until there's something else after that, which there usually isn't, it's done. And if it doesn't have multiplayer, I'm really done with it.
David, you've been pretty quiet. What are your? Do you have any thoughts?
The game really, for me, it really kind of ends when there's nothing left to do in the game until like either the sequel comes out or expansions or anything like that.
Does that include achievements?
In some cases, yeah.
Okay. So what's the difference? So what separates an achievement? Like, do you say this game is great, I will get all the achievements on this one, or this game is great, but I really don't care much for the achievements? Like, how do you
It depends on it depends on the achievements and all that and the trophies and all that stuff. I mean, there's some that are like just specifically, you have to do like Mirror's Edge.
Okay.
Mirror's Edge has a bunch of achievements and trophies that are do these specific maneuvers that do well, if you could perform them during gameplay, they could help you out. But to actually beat the game and get all the endings, or get the ending and do the speed run and all that stuff, there's no reason to do all those special maneuvers.
Right. So, okay. So officially beating the game is just in this standpoint is you got everything, you're done. So achievements, whatever, you're only getting it so that you can get all the endings. So then you're done, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm right there with you. I completely agree. I got all my endings, I'm done. Well, Brian lives off of... Okay. No. Because I'm about to make a very funny joke.
I'm glad you told us, so we'll all be ready to laugh.
Giving you the fair warning. No, well, okay. In this standpoint, you have games like... And I'm interested to hear Brian's take on this. Because, David, I know that you play God of War all the time. Do you feel...
Yeah.
Oh, a lot. Did you play it this weekend?
Yes, but I played the new PSP versions that they brought to the PS3 that I haven't.
But how many times have you beaten God of War?
Twice, every one of them twice.
Why?
Because you have to beat it once to unlock the hardest difficulty,
Okay.
which is the true way to play the game.
Uh-huh.
So you have to play once to unlock it, then you play it the second time to do that.
So when you completed the hardest difficulty, top tier level, you were done.
Yeah.
So then you have Brian, who plays Persona 4 till the cows come home. Or somebody comes, or till the cows come into his house and take the game from him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, and this was more of I got the bad ending first, so I was really trying to do everything right so that I can get the quote unquote true ending.
Right.
This is also part of the amount of time I put into it. Also has to do with the fact that I'm a very methodical,
Thorough.
player. And like I forget when it was. I was weird. You and I were talking on Saturday, chatting, and while I was playing Dragon Age, and like I told you where I was, and you're like, dude, you're like 6 hours in, you're only there?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Dude, when we talked about it, when I found out where you were, I was surprised. Because, okay, Brian was literally, he was 6 hours in, and he had just turned and became, and like started the storyline. Like you were in the whole previous area, the whole first level. Actually, you weren't even in chapter 2 yet. You were 6 hours in. And I was like, wow, dude. 6 hours in, I was like halfway through the game.
I like to take my time. I like to, like read stuff. Like I was reading Kodak pages and...
Wow. You're that guy. Amazing. See, I don't do that.
I love good story. It's...
Read a book.
Read
a book.
Oh, I like the interaction. you know. Um, and maybe David can talk about it because I've noticed he's been playing a lot of Project Legacy, but there is some great story, like in there, and it's what I really enjoyed about, spending my time playing Project Legacy.
Yeah, I'm completely opposite on that. I don't think I've read any of the story on that.
Nice.
Oh.
Nice. Totally bit right in the ass on that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, another game that we can all say that we've all played, Torchlight. Okay.
Yep.
Did you beat it with all 3 classes?
No.
Why?
Because I started, I picked the Vanquisher first.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that character, and I love the gameplay for that character. And then I started playing with the warrior or whatever, the barbarian, whatever the hell it's called. And I was like, this is boring. And then I was playing with the mage, and I was like, this is boring.
Yeah.
So, there really wasn't a whole lot of story-ish stuff. But I really liked the gameplay for the class I picked first, so I don't really have a reason to go back and play those other classes. It just doesn't really appeal to me.
So theoretically, the end of the game is based off of the metagame. Whatever the end of the game options are is the determination of what the end game is. So if there are multiple
I
games,
definitely make the decision as to when a game ends for me. There is a conscious decision. So a perfect example is Twilight Princess. I had gotten to level 50 something in in the underground dungeon. They have a special, dungeon on the side, and it's all right, I have another 9 levels I need to get through, but you know what? I'm just gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna beat the end, and the game's gonna be over, and then fuck it, I don't care about the other thing. There is an actual conscious decision that I'm gonna let that go.
The game ends for me when I have closure. If I beat the game and I get the bad ending, and it's oh, by the way, you suck and didn't accomplish any of your goals and the world blew up, then I'm okay, so I got to play through again because I got to figure out what I did wrong, right? Or if there's just a single ending, I play the game, I get the single ending, I'm okay, done. I saved the princess. Good job, Corey. That's what I've been doing this entire time for the past 8 levels. I did what I came here to do. Once I do what I came there to do, I'm done. Skyrim, I'm going to go there. I'm going to beat a dragon. When I beat the final dragon at the end, I'm going to be Booyah Kashadi. I'm done. That's
You're not going to, you'll be hey, I have all these other side quests I need to finish?
I will do side quests for money. Capitalism. And I will do side quests for loot. That's it. That's all I want that for. I don't care about being the good neighbor here to save the little tiny bit of bird for all I care. I got to get to the end of the game.
Oh.
There are things that need to be killed. I gotta get going. I can't be.
Oh man, I'm helping every motherfucker. I have quests that are just
Why?
Help this random person. I'm all right, I'll help.
Horrible. If you don't have something to give me, if you don't tell me in the quest line that you will give me the magic axe of awesome, I am not doing your quest. I have no unless it does a quest chain. If it's a quest chain, then I'm okay, this is kind of fun. This could end up, and I get mad when I get to the end of the quest chain and they're oh, good job. It's really, that's all I get, a pat on the back? Suck. Magicka's a perfect example. I like Magicka. But see, I'm an MMO guy. I want the game that keeps going. I want the game that keeps on giving. That's what I want. I don't want an end to my game. I don't ever want my games to end.
All right, Corey. When you're playing little WoW game,
Big WoW.
do you ever do quests that are in Lot they're a grayish color, you don't really get a whole lot of, you get barely any experience. It's too low for your level.
Nope.
I'll actually there are certain ones I'll actually do it if it's part of if I find it interesting and I like the story.
If the money is good, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about. You have the lower level
bastard.
You have the lower level quests or interesting quest chains or stuff that's just fun. Yeah, I'll do those every now and then, but I don't think that if I don't complete it, I'm not getting the full experience of the game. So, and that's on any game. I don't feel Dragon Age. We'll go back to Dragon Age because this is a perfect example. We were just playing it. Is that I went through the whole thing. I didn't want all the side quests. I didn't, the Arl of Redcliffe. Him and we did our thing. We got what we needed done. I GTFO'd onto my next level. I was I don't I don't want to stay around in the same area and be in the same area. I want to explore the game. I want to see where all the places are. I want to enjoy everything the game has to offer. But if I do decide to do a second playthrough, I may pick it up just to see what would have happened. And that's it. So, yeah, I don't
See,
want
I like a definition to the ending of my games.
closure.
Yeah.
Like it says the end. I'm like, good. I go, good game. The end. Good game.
Or if it says to be continued, there's going to be a continued.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, there's to be continued. I have something to look forward to, right? The Legacy of Kain series is a perfect example. I loved that series. I enjoyed it. I loved Razio. I loved Kain. And every time I ended it, it was like, oh, yay. There's no closure, so I got to wait for the next game, but I felt like I completed this one. I miss games like that. I miss simplicity these days. I have no idea what that is. One of you are watching porn, and that's awesome.
What?
I have no idea. Can anybody else hear that?
No.
No.
Are you serious? Dude, I'm tripping. That's awesome.
Is it
cool.
you?
It could be. I don't know. It's amazing. I don't even know what that is. So, that's craziness. Someone is mad that I'm talking crap about games. Somebody got wire crossed. Okay, it's fixed now. Ooh, that was some creepy grudge shit right there. But, okay, so define the end of a game. My definition of the end of the game is I got to the end of the game and it said, congratulations, you achieved the goal that the game is about. Done. I achieved it. I won. I win. It's the I win game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I win. I get to walk at the end and say, oh, I beat that game. I win. Dark Souls. I'm going to play the crap out of that game. I'm going to die horribly. But when I beat it, I get to have that under my belt and be like, yeah, I beat it. I win. I won't go back through. I won't do side quests. I will not put myself through that torture, but I win. I got to the end of the game.
I guess for me, like I said, it's a conscious decision when the end of the game is. It's just I'm gonna keep playing until I decide that I don't feel like playing anymore. Like, if that means I'm gonna buy some DLC or download whatever, then I'm gonna do that. Or if I'm going to do some achievement hunting. Like, it really pisses me off when, like, game ends and you can't keep playing.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, or at least make sure you tell me in advance. Like, make sure everything you're gonna do is done before you go past this point.
Like Square Enix games?
Going back.
Right. Yeah, because there's no going back.
Like how Square Enix does on the Final Fantasy series. Like, before you enter, like, a big fight, they're like, hey, make sure you cleared this area out with everything you needed to do before you go to the next area.
Yeah, exactly. Because, like, when that happens, I'm like, I can't go back and do stuff?
Again?
That's stupid.
Final Fantasy is a good example. The game ends when you get to the end, and you get that awesome cinematic at the end, and there's like, oh, by the way, here's Sephiroth, here's Cloud, boom, 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 Final Fantasy VII is rocking it, pow, and then it ends. Yay! You can tell all your friends how it was awesome. And then your friends tell you what they did, and you tell them what they did, and then you compare experiences, and that's it. Done. Game's over.
13 didn't end like that. You got to go back and hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And do all the other side quests and all that stuff.
Yep.
For what? What are you achieving by doing side quests? You're not getting another ending. You didn't end the game. You just go back and get more loot.
You're completing everything in the world.
But you don't get any. There's nothing for that.
Actually, that's not true. You can't really beat the game and have everything. Like, you would have to beat the game to get everything.
Right.
Like, no, like, there's more to the game. Like, you couldn't have all the stuff and then beat the game. Like, you have to beat the game and continue playing to get all the stuff.
Which is valid, but do you consider the game beaten after that, or do you consider the game beaten when it says this is the end? Congratulations, the credits roll.
I guess at that point I would say I've beaten the game, but I still have stuff to do.
But that's the end of the game. Right?
Not for me, it's not.
So you're saying the end of a lifespan of a game?
Like, when you're done with a game and...
I'm done. I'm done with the credits roll. Done. Good game.
No.
There's too many games out here to be like, I'm gonna go back. I'll beat it. I got the credits. Move on. Next game. Next experience. Superstar. This is why I play online games. Because I just don't get the same satisfaction I get from games that end.
Yeah, it's probably why I haven't really gotten, I've gotten far in my 20-some hours into Oblivion, but, like, I have all these damn quests from random people to, like, help them out, like, to do whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, sure, you need me to go fishing for you? Yeah, sure, why the hell not?
No. No. No fishing. Don't, no. I need closure. Give me closure and I'm good to go.
Well, you're really going to hate us when we make the I win game and you push the button and we roll the credits and it says, Brian and David.
No, because you know what'll happen? I walked into the game knowing that I would win. Bing, I win game. I've accomplished that game. Next game, please.
$2.
$2.
Yeah.
Done. I win.
Roll the credits.
Roll the credits. I did everything I said I was going to do in that game. I knew what I was getting into. I knew what the storyline was. I knew the developers. Done.
So what we need to make sure is we're going to put achievements in, and you have to do something else once the game is over.
It won't matter, because I'll just push the I win button and be like, I'm done. Game over. You want an achievement, Corey?
Like,
Not really.
You did. You're like, but all you have to do is do this. All you have to do is push the button again once the credits roll.
I'll be sure to send you a letter and complain about the lack of replay value. So.
Replayability,
Yeah.
none.
Yeah, and the end of the game, and like you said, it's going to be based off of everybody's individual experience as to what they want to do. Do they want to go for all the achievements? Is that the end of the game? Do they want to collect everything? Is that the end of the game? Do they want to get all the endings? Is that the end of the game? It really depends on the player and on the specific game that they're playing. But for me, personally, the game ends when the credits roll. Beat.
So on those games, it's turned out with the button that says roll credits.
Oh yeah, I usually don't. I prefer games that have that grayed out until after you beat the game. Then I'll roll the credits. So really awesome.
All right. Quick side note. Do you guys actually sit through the credits? I do.
Oh, I do. That's like saying
Yes,
the
I
credits
think
for movies.
I feel like I owe it to them.
I like when you can press X and it just zooms through them really fast. And you can just get to the end faster. Again, conclusion. Move on.
I like to pay my respect to everybody who worked on that game. It was a good game.
Read the instruction manual then.
There are no more instruction manuals.
Hey, you can get instruction manuals. You can download manuals. Hey, Wikipedia, you're good. Online, you can find out everything you want about them. Good to go. I don't have time for this. There's too many games out there to play.
Oh man. Boy, I'm really curious now if we ever do a topic on game as art. We already know what side Corey's on. Fuck that. It's all about winning and getting my. Where's my motherfucking money?
I think you would be pleasantly surprised. I think I would have the complete opposite answer. So we should table that because I would totally enjoy that conversation.
Like, where's my money?
No. I don't think so. But
You've been playing WoW. That game hasn't been updated graphically, and like any of the art assets haven't been updated
since
like
last expansion. I mean, crazy, right? It's amazing. Just saying.
Still looks like a 6-year-old drew with a.
Lord, are you kidding? When was the last time you played WoW? Let's not get into this conversation. Let's set that up for next week.
Right. So do you guys have anything else you guys want to talk about with the end of the game?
Is this podcast over? Can we?
Is
Well,
that the end of the podcast?
Are we at the end of the podcast?
Well, it's the end for Corey because I'm pressing the end call button for him.
So, are you guys going back for an achievement? Because I'm not really going to play anymore. I'm pretty much done. Game over, man.
No, I just wanted to see, if you guys had more to talk about.
No, it's the end. Roll credits. I'm done. I win. So, and I'm interested to see when other players. I think people should put in the comments below on this podcast and tell us when they think the end of the game is. When is it for them, and why? Why? What sense of satisfaction do you get out of a game, and how do you know that you enjoyed? If a game's only 5 hours and you got all the achievements in 5 hours, yay! Do you continue on, or are you just happy because you got all the achievements in 5 hours? That involves length of game. Does the amount of time you spend in a game base off of it, or do you just play? In my opinion, the game ends when the game ends. Done. When the developers say this is the end of the game, I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. Here's my $60.
And you don't even care if it's broken or not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Because there will be a patch.
That's
All right. David, any final thoughts?
Bacon is delicious.
Word.
Pure win. Until you reach the end.
All right, I think David just argument.
Yeah, David wins that argument. Good deal.
Yes. All right. He
The
wins.
cheat.
He pushed the I win button.
Roll credits.
And I'm
Like,
out.
Hades out. Boom, boom, and the
Boom.
mic hits the floor. No, but next week, this weekend or this upcoming weekend, Corey is going down to BlizzCon. So next week we are going to be doing a podcast on next Monday, where we're going to talk about BlizzCon 2011. So send Corey, like, either tweet stuff to Corey, like questions you have for some of those people out there, Diablo 3 questions, World of Whatever Craft questions,
Find some
and
Diablo keys.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
snag us some keys. So yeah. So if you got some thoughts, tweet to Corey or send him an email. It's cdockendorf@aggrogamer.com for next week's show.
Yes, I'm looking forward to everybody's questions because I'm looking forward to these Q&A panels. There's a lot of stuff that they're going to go over this year, and a lot of big announcements. So I'm really excited. And Foo Fighters.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Foo Fighters. That's gonna be sweet. Damn.
I'm all right.
If it just wasn't a Blizzard event.
Oh.
Oh.
Why you gotta go
Oh.
there? Why you get me mad? It's alright. It's cool. If Mario was there, you'd be there.
No, probably not. Probably not. Probably because I can never be as excited as that guy near us at E3
Yeah.
for the Nintendo press conference. No one can be ever. No, I can never reach a level of excitement as that guy had.
That's true.
Right. All right. So of course, you can always catch us on Twitter and Pwned and all the natural places. David, you can catch him as the real Hades. Corey, you can catch him as Mythic Griffin, and of course, I am Quiglin. Extra Life is technically not over yet, so if you still would like to donate, go ahead to one of our pages and put in some money. I know we would all appreciate that. So
Yeah, definitely. And the sick kids.
yeah, that's right. It helps sick kids. But if that's it from I was gonna say from the studio. From the studio.
We've upgraded.
Yep, this was episode 88 of the AggroCast, and we will check you guys next week. We're out. Peace.
Later.
See, it's the end.
Roll credits.
Credits. Roll credits.